There we go. So there's Olga. How are you doing? This is all about our tarot workshop, which, hi, Tony, thank you for coming in. I had it all ready, and of course, technical things always get you. And I had all my cameras set up, and for some reason, it didn't come on. Perhaps because I didn't press the right button. Anyway, we are flowing on with our major cards, and we're talking tonight about the Justice card. And the Justice card works in conjunction with the astrological sign of Libra. So, our astrological sign of Libra does actually come up in the seventh house if we are dealing with astrology. And that's all about relationships, partnerships. So, when we see this card, it can tell us about the relationships that's going on around us. Now, if it's a romantic relationship that's been asked in the question, then obviously this is where you go diving in and having a look at what is around this particular card. Most of you will know now that I work in conjunction with pairs, and those pairs that I use a major and minor card together. So we'll be doing more sort of spotlight courses on how to actually put the cards together a little bit later on. Come and say hi if you're watching. It'd be lovely to see you. You're very welcome, Olga, and thank you so much for coming in. So we've got some people watching tonight live, which is great. Lovely to have you all in here. And what do we normally do? Well, I give you these bullet points as we go through this PDF here that I've done for you to make life very, very simple. And our relationship card, the Justice card, can also be dealing with partnerships. So sometimes it can be, how are things going in a partnership at work, or in a romance, or relationships in families. So it's not just that of the loving kind. It's also a card of liberation. Can everybody hear me all right? I just need to make sure that my sound is as I want it to be. So let's see what is coming in there. Bear with me. I cannot get rid of this preview mode. Okay, just want to be able to see my sound levels. Okay, so yeah, if we are looking at the Justice card, it can be that we are looking at law and order, and you've got to be very careful how you go about reading in legal sort of aspects. But yes, it does relate to law and order, and it's up to you what you want to do. But most times I would steer away from giving legal readings simply because unless it's for yourself or somebody asks you in the family, I wouldn't actually sort of suggest you actually go telling somebody legal advice. Just always point them in the direction of the experts. It's a card of liberation and a card of law and order and ideology. So our relationships, partnerships, people that we know, business arrangements, partnerships that we have going on in relationships that we are close to, all sorts of things. Creative partnerships is not always business, is it? So if you're looking at the Justice card, it talks about equality. And oh, that's wonderful, Olga. Bless you for actually letting me know that you can hear, because that would be an awful shame if my microphone is not turned up, or it's whistling or hissing or doing something like that. So thank you so much for that. Just making me more comfortable here tonight. So yeah, matters of civil law. So this can be to do with, people who are actually looking and saying, gosh, what about my fencing, and what about my neighbour, and all these kind of things, where it would be civil things rather than a custodial sort of type criminal law. So yeah, that is what justice can also be about. But justice is also a two-edged sword. And what may be just might not necessarily be fair. So we can get justice, can't we? But it might not be fair. You might find that the judge actually doesn't take into account what's fair at all, and he just goes by the book, or goes with, the law can be quite a strange old thing, and it's all about who's the and who's representing who. So that's what I would say when I was saying what is just might not necessarily be what is fair. It's also the application of the law. Gosh, I seem as if my camera just paused for a minute there. I think my computer's updating a little bit tonight. I've had some real problems this week with an update on my computer. So maybe there is a moment where it is still trying to do that and settle in. Application of the law, the police, law enforcement, so we could be looking at solicitors, we could be looking at lawyers, we could be looking at judges, we could be looking at people that work for the police, these kind of things. It's also true justice rather than formal law, okay? So making the choices based on classical or legal considerations also come up this card. But what if it comes up in a relationship? And what if it comes up with a court card? Well, if you've got a court card around it, that's a person. And if you've got a major card beside your court card, feed the energy of the major card into the court card. So if, for example, we have maybe the King of Cups, we could actually say that if the Justice card came up, that the King of Cups, that we're being told that he's very fair, he's very well balanced, he's very easygoing, he's somebody that takes everything into consideration, he's very good at partnerships because we've got the King of Cups, this kind of thing. Okay, right. I don't know what's going on there. I've just got a flash up there with a warning saying it's not recording. So do hope that you're still with me. So our Justice card is all about those things. And so we have relationships, partnerships, liberation, ideology, law and order, equality, balance. Most Librans will tell you, because the Justice card works in conjunction with Libra, that they find it very hard to get balance, that they are aiming for it all the time. It's not always easy for them. Matters of law and order, equality, matters of civil law, and justice, as we said, is a two-edged sword, and what is just may not necessarily be what is fair. So, remember police, remember our solicitors, judges, lawyers, all those kind of people. If you see the Justice card out and you get it next to a person, could be telling you, if the King of Swords came up, that this person is a lawyer. If it came up as Queen of Pentacles, that's somebody that's in the services, so they're probably in the police. Do you see? So I go on to teach all of this and how to actually put all the pieces of the puzzle together. But this is a workshop. And I do my online courses through my website. So if you're interested in those, that's where to look for those, to be able to put the piece of the puzzle together. This is just a little taster and a little bit of able to share with you on these platforms on social media, little tips and tricks. I have been a professional reader for many a year, too many, and I'm happy to share the basic bullet points that I feel that people find very difficult to put together. So if you get your meanings of your cards, then you need to get your feelings. So if we look at this card, what feelings do we get? Well, what's standing out for me in this card tonight is the purple. And that links to our third eye, and it makes me think of amethyst. So I'm thinking of protection, because amethyst is a wonderful stone for protection. Opening your third eye, which is beautiful. We are able to be our most psychic self when that's open. So what do you see? And also we've got the scales that comes up. Balance, fairness, these kind of things. And we've got somebody wearing a crown to sort of say, gosh, I have some authority here. And that's also what we've got to remember. It's not just wishy-washy. People sometimes think, oh gosh, airy-fairy Libra, airy-fairy Justice card. No, not at all. It's all about people that are doing their utmost to make things happen so that they get balance and harmony with everything in their lives. And as I said, looking at your minor cards would tell you very much more about what's going on. But in order to be able to actually do that, you need the basic bullet points, which is where I'm starting off with you in this workshop, so that you can watch the replay or you can come in and ask questions on the workshop. It's free. I'm here to actually share with you and share my knowledge. And by all means, I'm always learning from people, so I'm sure I'll learn off you too. So that would be rather marvellous as well, wouldn't it? So let's move on now to another card which comes after Justice. So we have the Hanged Man. And our Hanged Man, I hope that you can actually see that, all right? Yes, I do believe that you can. A Hanged Man works in conjunction this time with a planet, and the planet is Neptune. So some of the cards work with astrological signs, some with planets. And it's good to know exactly what they are, because that will help you be able to think of someone or feel something. You know, like our other card, do you know a Libra? Do you know somebody that's a police? Do you know somebody that's a lawyer or works for the law? Do you know someone that's incredibly fair? Do you know somebody that sort of sits on the fence like Libras are known to? You know, do you know somebody that actually spends their entire time trying to get balance for themselves and others? You know, think of these people, because that's the feelings. And then your intuition can work in conjunction beautifully with the actual card and the meanings. Having your meanings by no way replaces your intuition. But if you actually feel a little bit sort of overwhelmed with how to read tarot and what it all means, it's good to have some meanings, then develop your intuition, then start putting the pieces of the puzzle together, so that you know that if this comes up in the self, that this is about the self. What if it comes up in the physical self? Well, it's about your movements. If it comes up in the intellect, it's what you're thinking. If it comes up in the emotions, it means your emotions are feeling a little bit like the Hanged Man. Do you see? Very, very welcome. Hello, Eva Skinner. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Look, we've got Eva saying hi. How lovely. I love it when people come in and actually make a comment, because it just makes it so worthwhile. Sorry, I popped you on the screen there. It took so long to come up. There we go. There's Eva. Thank you so much. And earlier on, we had Olga. So there we have Olga. So thank you so much. Let's go into our Hanged Man. Now, the Hanged Man, planet Neptune. So this is about our expressions. This is a card of the imagination. It's about dreams, but of course it will be. It's attached to Neptune. It's about visions and reflections. So it's kind of like, you know, when we are in a bit of a moment of meditation, or a moment of, well, a bit like being in hypnosis, where we actually go into a bit of a trance. Now people go, I don't do that. We do it all the time. You know, we're watching television or reading something, and somebody's talking to us, and we're engrossed or lost in that world, or lost in our thoughts for a moment or two. We're in a trance for a while. So that's about our visions and reflections. And it's also about our dreams, good ones and bad ones. It's also about being a bit of a rebel. Why? Well, you know, if you look at things upside down, you know, that means you're not going with the flow, or, you know, conforming. You're actually seeing things in a different light. So look at the Hanged Man as maybe standing on his head, doing a handstand. I know he's suspended from the tree in this case, but the point is to look at things from an entirely different angle, or point of view, or perspective, or to just see things differently. Now, when people say, oh gosh, you're doing this, again, you know, if you use my method and how I teach my actual spread, I use one spread, but there are 22 positions in my spread. Starts off with an advanced Celtic cross. And in that, you get the now, what's crossing you, what's the root and the foundations going on of the reading, what's coming, what's happened in the past, what's physically going on with this person, what's going on with others that are affecting this person, the outside influences. Well, all of that is on my course, but there's no point going that deep if you don't actually know what the cards mean. So I'm hoping that people will actually feel that they can actually learn some of these bullet points. Don't worry if you don't remember them all. I've put them all there. It's a variety of what it could mean. maybe you feel, well, do you know what? I'm just going to look at it as this is a person that stands on their head and turns things around. Or you might choose this is a rebel. This is somebody who's rebellious. It's what it means to you, but it might change when you actually pull a card for somebody or pull cards for somebody or do a reading for somebody, and you actually go, gosh, I'm actually going to really focus on this. And in this case, I'm going to look at the picture and I'm going to see the halo, or I'm going to look at the cross, or I'm going to look at the fact that I feel that he's kind of a bit deformed with his hands behind his back, or, his legs are crossed. You might look at the fact that, he likes to hang around and do nothing. You might look at it as in the growth that's going on there in the trees. This is a person that goes for growth, but they wait. Yeah. So the Hangman is also a card of waiting, of taking your time. Or sometimes it can make us feel, hang on a minute, I'm feeling as if I'm stuck, as if I'm in limbo. What on earth is going on? So it changes. Sometimes it makes us feel that we're stuck. And sometimes there's a need to take on a very different point of view or perspective. So, hi, this is not, hi, somebody asking for a reading. Sorry, it's not readings tonight. It's actually a lesson of tarot cards. So, sorry about Sneha. If you want to stay and watch and learn about tarot cards, you're very welcome. But if you want to come to my lives, look out for those. They come up on a different day in the week, usually Fridays. And for this week, at the moment, being a Wednesday, I have chosen to do our workshop today. So sorry about that. I won't be answering those questions because I'm actually doing a workshop. But lovely to see you, Sneha, and I do hope you stay. Thank you. Okay, so it's the need for a different perspective, to look at things differently, to actually go, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to have a bit of a think. I'm going to have a little bit of stay where I am. I'm going to actually look at what I've been dreaming about. I'm going to look at what I went into a trance about. I'm going to look at actually, gosh, I'm going to be still. I'm not going to think. I'm just going to watch. I'm going to see. Hello, Karina. And how? Bless you. How lovely are you? Got somebody saying, well, such a lovely, lovely comment. So I'm just going to bring that up on the screen for a minute. Lovely to see you. So we've got Olga and we've got Tony and we've got Eva, got Sneha there. Lovely. Hi, how are you doing? Thank you for joining in. So there you go. We've got a lovely comment coming in there. This is really, really nice. So, what we've got going on with our Hanged Man, I think my camera went a bit odd there again. It's not the camera, I think it's the internet, or it's more likely that my Apple computer is updating in the background because it's got a new, I don't know what they call it, but an update, and it's using a new sort of version. The last one was the Big Sur and this one's Mohave or something like that. So sorry about that. It does take hours, so it's not something that I hoped would happen because I did that the other day, but I think something's still going on in the background. Apologies, people. So there's a feeling of hanging around with this card, isn't it? A period of waiting, a period of suspension, and sometimes sacrifice. Gosh, sometimes we all have to make sacrifices where we feel stuck or just not heard. And there's a feeling sometimes of, I've just got to accept her. And then when it's right, when the universe has actually got a bigger plan for me that's probably better than what I'm actually capable of doing right now, I'm going into acceptance and surrendering into that. So there's a feeling of surrender, of sacrifice, of suspension, or of acceptance. So all of those things can apply to our Hanged Man. What do you see when you look at this card? Any comments here tonight before I actually show you a couple of different versions of decks that show the Hanged Man and our Justice card? Does anybody want to ask a question so far? Or tell me what they see. Do you see, his red pants that he's wearing? Hi, Jelly Melly. Hello, Jelly Melly. Hello, Jelly Me Lime Low. Hello, how are you doing? Gosh, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, so sorry. when I'm teaching, it's like reading it out for the first time can actually be something that makes me go, woo, hi, how are you? Thank you for saying hi. Please do. I know you are fabulous. I know you are a famous guacamole YouTuber. Oh, oh, lovely. Thank you. Oh, bless you. So, some nice comments. How can we get a copy of the info again? I sent email and didn't receive. Okay, right. If you actually look at the description, it's hello at tarotwithanne-marie.com. And if you write to that, I will, when I've actually finished tonight or tomorrow, I will send you the PDFs, your version of them. So you're very welcome. Lovely. So yeah, hello at tarotwithanne-marie.com. It's not a download that's instant. It's me that actually goes click, 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 and I send it to you, Olga. So if you just bear with me, I will definitely send that to you. I've had quite a few people that's actually really, really enjoyed the PDFs to be able to work at home. It's so nice. And then, of course, you can watch the replay here on YouTube or in Facebook, whichever it is you're watching on, or some of the other platforms. Sorry, I've got an itch. And then you can actually follow along. I do cover the 22 majors and the 56 minors, and I'm going through them very slowly and happy to take any questions. I know that people do tend to want to actually watch the video with me rather than put up their hand. Later on, I will be doing sort of like put in a comment, I should have said actually, or show their hand like when we're doing Zoom. So I'm doing Zoom classes and things like that next year. At the moment, I would like everybody to just kind of go through the actual video, get some basic meanings and just kind of go, look, I've got a little bit of an idea about that card. Okay, maybe you see the halo and the halo makes you think, gosh, enlightenment, feeling protected, oh gosh, I'm using my head. Lit up, light bulb moment. What does it make you think? So many things. Right, okay. Olga, great question. I do not use reverse cards, and there is a very good reason for that. Very simple one. Because it is, I think you've got me mixed up, Jelly. Jelly's asking me to sing a song for the guacamole. I've no idea what she's talking about. So I'm going to ignore that and say, sorry, I think you've got me mixed up. Back to you, Olga, in the comments. I don't read reverse cards for one very simple reason. I use a major and minor together. Therefore, there is absolutely no need to have a reverse meaning. Okay, so let's say, for example, the Hangman came up with one of the swords, and in that you see that we have, let's say, Page of Swords, court card. Okay, so what that would mean is the Hanged Man is an aspect of a court card, and in this case, I've chosen the Page of Swords. It means that that Page of Swords is feeling a bit stuck, or any of these bullet points that's going on here. That they're dreamy, that they're in limbo, that they're reflecting, that maybe they're having visions. And Page of Swords, well, it depends where it comes up in the spread. That'll be the other part of it. But as a pair, it would mean that that person's probably feeling a bit stuck in their thinking. And the Page of Swords is somebody who has things yet to learn and things of an intellectual nature, because it's the swords. So the swords is always about the intellect. So whichever, court card or minor card came up with the swords, it's about the mind and the intellect. If it was cups, it would be about the emotions. If it was pentacles, no, not money, it would be about things that are manifesting or materializing for sure, or already have manifested. If it was wands, it would be about the action. Hello, hi, we've got somebody lovely, somebody from Tarot, Española. Hi, how are you doing? Lovely to have you. You're very welcome. Hello, and thank you for saying hi to me. I'm doing this a bit later than I normally, so it's really lovely that I've got a few new people in here tonight. It's wonderful. And more YouTube than Facebook. We've got a few on Twitch going on here as well, which is wonderful. So, I don't use reverse cards because the minor card will take care of it. And later on, hi, Julissa from Peru. Look at this. Got to add this to our broadcast. So there you go. Thank you, darling. Lovely. Okay, right. So, lots and lots of wonderful things that are very important with our Hanged Man. And we were talking about whether to use a reverse card or not. I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm saying I never, ever, ever learned reverse cards because I learned the system very, very early on when I was in tarot school. I had no need for it. So I wouldn't even begin to use that because the information that comes from the 56 minor cards that could come out with the Hanged Man will tell you everything you need to know, and then you've got your intuition, so straight away start to become an intuitive reader and a technical reader, so that you know the meanings and you've got the feelings and you're feeling confident because you've got a pair telling you that's what this is. So it's much, 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 much easier when you put A and B together and then you build it up. The second card clarifies, okay, and I teach that on my course. So if you're using a minor card, and in a moment I'm going to switch. Let's bring that on. Bear with me, this will probably go a little bit pear-shaped when I put on my next scene, but let's hope it comes through. Okay, I'm sorry folks, everything is freezing. I hope you don't lose me entirely. Okay, here I am. Okay, and let's just check this out. Okay, crikey, sorry folks, I meant to put that one up. There you go. Right, there you go, there's my website. You can actually see me sitting above. Right, let's just try and zoom that in a little bit more for you. Okay, actually, there you go. So sorry about the freezing that's going on there. Okay, I used this deck this week because it was Halloween, and there's our Hanged Man on a complete different version. So I like to show you a couple of different examples on my table here with different decks, just a couple. Okay, so this one actually comes from the Universal Tarot, so that's this one here. Okay, and here we have the Nine of Wands, which I believe has come from the Everyday Witch deck there. Okay, so I've just mixed up two decks, whoops, together. All right, only because I was only going to show you all the Hanged Men, and I just thought I'd show you an example of a major and minor together. So in this case, I know that's not as crystal clear as I'd like it to be, there is the Nine of Wands, okay? And so here's somebody that's trying to defend themselves. So in this regard, because it's wands, it's their actions, okay? But because we've got the Hanged Man, yeah, it's clarifying that they are feeling stuck, as cards showing us, look, ooh, I'm defending myself, you see? And wand, action. It's not in their head, it's not in their emotions, it's actually in their actions, okay? So that is your clarifier. So second card confirms, yes, and elaborates. Very much a clarifier, okay? It tells you what's going on, okay, with that major card. And if you pull out major cards, you can actually really see what's going on. So I'm going to get that out of the way. There's a little example. Okay. Now, the Hangman. So that's an example. And here's another one. And that one comes from the Everyday Witch. Okay. I'll pop that up there. And I'll zoom out just a wee bit. Okay, and that one came from there. Not advertising, you buy these or anything like that. But isn't it different? Can you see the difference in different decks? You know, we just had ours on the PDF because they Radiant Ride Away are absolutely fantastic in respect of there's so much symbology in the cards, which I cover on my online courses, which are not expensive online. It's all recorded for you. And I'm going to move that along just a weeny bit. Okay, and there's my crystal in shot there. Look, crystals galore. Okay, so push them over there for a minute. And there's the Hanged Man there. And that one comes from Modern Witch. I popped these out this week, being Halloween, and we had a tarot live where you can come and ask questions and have a tarot reading, just a quick sort of snapshot reading like everybody does online. We can't do full readings for anybody. We did a Halloween, so you can watch the one I did with Jean Marie on Sunday, I think it was, if that was Halloween. Gosh, days go so quickly. And I tend to do lives on Fridays, usually about 6 or 7 o'clock. So if you want to jump in and actually have a reading and see how pairs work, Olga, I would recommend that you do that. And if you can't catch us as in live, watch it on the catch-up and the replay. And just say, watching the replay, it'd be lovely to see you again, Olga. And lovely questions, by the way. So, so nice. And I'm actually going to put that up on the broadcast screen there. Yeah, so this is what you're asking, which is absolutely gorgeous. Thank you so much for that. Really do appreciate your question. So yes, that's actually our Hanged Man. And of course we did justice to start with, didn't we? So here is, that's a very different justice card. Very different, you see. And there's the Everyday Witch one. Very different. Now she's got a blindfold on there. You see how your deck can make you think so differently. Here, look, these two in front. Gosh, that wasn't in our cards. So when you read with a different deck, you're going to instantly pick up on the images, which is a good thing, you know. But when you're starting out, really and truly, it probably makes sense to go with a Rider-Waite deck or based Rider-Waite deck. Why? So much symbology going on that you will be able to know exactly what that's about. And as I said, on my website where I actually do the online courses, it's all recorded, it's on the website. You go and buy a bundle. I just want the majors, that's all I want. Okay, I'll go and deal with these, and maybe I'll go and do some of the other cards later, or you can got the chance to do them all if you want to. But I try to make it that you weren't overwhelmed. That's the secret. Take your time, go at it slowly, enjoy what you've got. And yeah, you know, it's quite nice to go, gosh, I've done that and I've got a little bit, and there you go. I can actually now go on to the next one. So I've done it as the 4 suits, majors, and the court cards. So you can, and the court cards are a big one. That's where everyone goes, oh my Lord, what do I do with these? Use them. They are fabulous. Yeah, court cards really, really help because they clarify. It's an aspect of the person that is the current, i.e. the current is the person that's having the reading. And if you are the person who is having the reading and reading for yourself, you are the current and you are the reader. Okay? If you have somebody ask about somebody else, so they're having a reading, so let's say Mary phones up and wants a reading, and Mary asks, gosh, can you put the cards out and ask, I want to ask about Johnny. And Johnny, you know, I want to know what he's thinking and feeling, what he's doing, what his intentions are regarding me. So now you've got to look at both of them. And how do you do that? Well, the aspects of knowing your astrological signs are imperative to be able to pick up accurately and to be able to pick them up in the court cards. And there's big clues as to how it's done. Okay, so yeah, I've been a professional reader for, gosh, I've done tarot for 30 years and I've actually been professional for 20 and full-time for the last 15 years. So yeah, there you go. Love to share it all with you. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm sorry that everything froze a little bit tonight, but I will see you next time. And if you can't join us on the lives, please do watch on the catch-ups, which are always available for you. My stream quality's just come up to tell me that it's been updated. I think you call that hanging and waiting for it, like that Hangman tonight. And it came a little bit late for us, didn't it? Sorry about that, folks. That's very much to do with my computer. I know it is. I can hear it going in the background. So, from me and Marie, thank you very much. I'm so pleased you joined me tonight. I'd love you to like and share this so that as many people get to benefit from learning tarot in this very simple method. And we're very open, it's very relaxed here. Okay, that's what it's all about. I'm not here to actually enforce anything on you. I can only share with you my own personal experience, which has been, you know, I teach tarot and I've done so for years, and I read the cards professionally every day for clients. Okay, so I'm going to have to dash because I do have some calls tonight. So I am going to look forward to your lovely company again in the future, and please do press the subscribe button on YouTube, press the bell, and it'll notify you the next time that I'm on with Tarot School. And if you press all notifications, you can come and join us on live and see how some pairs go. I'll be reading in pairs, so you'll get the whole gist of it then. Thanks for joining me. Thanks to Olga. Thanks to Jelly. Thanks to Julissa, to Tony, and who else have I got there? I'm so sorry. Karina, Sneha, Eva, Tony. Gosh, and Facebook users that didn't actually confirm. Sudhir. Hi, Sudhir. You'll probably have to watch the replay, my darling, because it's time to finish. But it's lovely to have you along, and this will be available very, very soon for you to watch. Hello, Sudhir. Lovely to see you. So until next time, when we're all together for another tarot workshop, I hope you enjoy it. Please do write to me, hello@tarotwithannemarie.com, and I'll be happy to send you via email the PDFs that I'm using on this course. Only your copy will be white, and I'll only send probably the major cards to begin with because they're big files. So you'll get them, and you've got the picture, and you've got the words, just like here, but they are broken down into keywords for you, just like I've done on here, rather than sentences. So you can totally study. Oh, I'm so pleased you enjoyed the Modern Witch deck. I think it's fabulous. There's some great pictures in that, you know. Really lovely. I do some unboxing. Go and have a look at my unboxing for the Groovy Weight tarot. That's all about the 60s and the influence of the Beatles. That's a really good video to watch. I'm not in it, I've just put it all together so you can really just enjoy the cards on a carousel. Stop it and look at it at any time. And if you like that version, fine. Sometimes I come on and I just do a flip through of the decks. I've got loads of new decks coming up. It's just simply a question of time. Got to be available for clients, and I've also got to be available to do this. And today was a little bit quiet, and I was making some ebooks to help people with psychic protection. So if you're interested in anything like that, that's also what I do. And I try and keep the price really low, and I try and keep it really simple and bullet point so that you can just buy tiny little bits so that you can take bite-sized chunks of it all, because it can be overwhelming. But I'm here to help. So, you know, type and tell me what it is you want, and if I can, I'll do it. Okay? See you soon, everybody. Thanks for joining me, and don't forget to like and share, and if you're on YouTube, subscribe, and a comment on there would be lovely too. Thanks, Olga. Loved your questions. Absolutely love that. Want that all the time. That's what I'm here for, to help and give you some insight into how it is that I personally read tarot and teach tarot with a method that I think is absolutely fantastic. See you soon. Take care of yourself and each other. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.